Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. So, guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. No response. Guys, please all of you respond for me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Right. Good evening, guys. All right. And what we are discussing in the last session. In the last session, we understand the differences between Java and others. Overall, 4 differences we completed up to now. Fifth difference, here we have to understand. Can you tell me what are the 4 differences we have completed already? If you observe this, that very first difference is what there. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what? A dynamic programming language. Can you tell me what is the reason why C and C++ are static and Java is a dynamic? No? Any reason for it? In C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for the primitive data types at a compilation time, not at a runtime. That's why C and C++ are what? Static programming languages. But in the case of Java, memory will be allocated for the primitive data at a runtime, not at a compilation time. So Java is what they know, a dynamic programming language. Leave it. Second difference is what there. Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but a preprocessor is not required in Java. Tell me what are the reasons for it now? Right, sir. In C and C++, preprocessor is required in order to recognize hash include statements in order to load header files content to the memory. But in the case of Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, hash include statements are not existed and header files are not available. In Java, predefined libraries existed in the form of classes and interfaces in packages, and to import that packages, we have import statements now. To recognize and execute import statements, here we have Java compiler and JVM. We don't require what they know preprocessor. There I have given one important interview question. What's that question I have given there? What are the differences between hash include statements and import statement? There are nearly 4 or 5 differences I have given. Hash include statements are available in C and C++, but the import statement is available in Java. Hash include statement is able to load the predefined library existed in the form of header files. Import statement is able to include the predefined library existed in the form of packages. Hash include statement are recognized by preprocessor. Import statements are recognized by both the compiler and JVM. Hash include statements are supporting static loading and import statements are supporting dynamic loading. Right, to include more than one header file, more than one hash include statement we have to write. But to include more than one class or interface of the same package, no, only single import statement is sufficient. Then after that, third difference we understood there. What is the third difference now? C and C++ are platform dependent, whereas Java is what there? Platform independent. There are given some points here. If any programming language allows its applications to perform both the compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is what there? Platform dependent programming language. Example is what there? C and C++. If we compile C program on Windows operating system, Windows represented .exe file will be created. That Windows.exe file will be executed under Windows operating system only, not on any other operating system. Due to this reason, C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages. Next one, if any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that type of programming language is called as like what their platform independent programming language. Right, sir. Example for platform independent programming language is what they know. What is the example for platform independent programming language? Java. In the case of Java, right, we are able to compile Java programs in one operating system and we are able to execute the same Java applications in another operating system. So this type of thing is called as what they know, platform independent nature. If we compile Java program on Windows operating system, Windows, that means a dot class file is generated. So here what is the nature of the dot class file actually? The nature of the dot class file is dot class file contains a byte code. It is not directly executable code. It contains an intermediate code. It is an intermediate code. It is neutral to every operating system, even it is not including Windows representations. But if you want to execute this neutral bytecode on any of the operating system, we have to convert that neutral bytecode into the local operating system representations. To convert neutral bytecode to the local operating systems, Sun Microsystems has provided a set of translators. How Sun Microsystems has given these translators? No, Sun Microsystems has given these translations along with execution process in a single component. The name of that component is what there? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Observe carefully this point here. Then apart from this, right, sir, I'm giving one more point. Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is what there? A platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is what there? Platform dependent. Not only JVM, the total Java software is what there? Platform dependent. Java compiler, Java JVM. Next one is a Java documentator, Java profiler. All the tools of the Java are a platform dependent only. Understand it clearly. Next one, after completion of this, after understanding this particular point here, another point here what we have to understand there apart from this. Next one is after completion of this particular one, here we have one important interview question. What is that question here? What are the differences between .exe file and a .class file? Where few examples are given, few differences are given. .exe file is available in C and C++, but a .class file is available in Java. .exe file contains directly executable code, whereas .class file contains a byte code. It is not directly executable code, it is an intermediate code. .exe file is a platform dependent, whereas .class file is what their platform independent. Right, .exe file will provide lesser security for the data, whereas .class file is able to provide what their more security. This is another point here we understood that. Next one, and fourth difference here I given there. Pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. What is the meaning of pointer? I have given there first. Pointer is a variable that able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or a structure, or maybe another pointer variable. Why pointer variables are suitable in C and C++? Why pointer variables are not suitable in Java? There are some reasons here. Reason number one, pointer variables required static memory allocation, but Java is following dynamic memory allocation. Pointers are supported by static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Pointers are very much suitable in a platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Pointers is a bit confusion oriented feature, but Java is a simple programming language. It should not allow any confusion for the developers. It should not allow confusion oriented features like pointers inside the Java. Then after that, I given one interview question there. What was that question I given there? What exactly the differences between pointer variables in C, C++ and reference variables in Java? There are given one point here. Pointers are available in C and C++, but reference variables are existed in Java programming language. Pointer is a variable. It able to refer a block of memory by storing a address location directly. But reference variable is a variable. It able to refer a block of memory, that is an object, by storing that object reference value. Where object reference value is a hexadecimal form of the hash code. Hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value for each and every object. So here hash code is not address location, reference value is not address location, reference variable is not storing any address location clearly. Right, sir. Then another point here. Right, sir. Dot, that means pointer variables are supported by static programming languages and platform dependent programming languages, but reference variables are supported by dynamic programming languages and platform independent programming languages. So these are the points we understood up to the last class. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity on this, no? All right. Next one is, after that, today we have to understand that another topic in today's session is like what there, multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Right, sir. Let's observe this clearly. What I'm going to discuss with you clearly now. So before understanding multiple inheritance is possible or not possible in Java or in any other programming languages, first of all, what is multiple inheritance? From where we are able to get this multiple inheritance? This point here we have to understand what is multiple inheritance, from where we are able to get this multiple inheritance. Before understanding this multiple inheritance, what is single inheritance? What is inheritance, first of all? From where this inheritance part is coming there? All the points here we have to understand. Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. I'm going to give some information to you. Now try to understand it clearly. All of you guys. Everybody understand it now. Java is an object-oriented programming language or not? Simple question. Java is what there as an object-oriented programming language or not? Just clear. Java is an object-oriented programming language. How, sir? How we are able to say Java is an object-oriented programming language? Before that, now tell me, when a programming language is an object-oriented programming language? When a programming language is an object-oriented programming language? I'm giving some reason to you, now try to understand it clearly. If any programming language, understand it clearly, if any programming language represents data in the form of objects as per object oriented features, if any programming language represents data in the form of objects as per object oriented features, then that programming language is called as an object oriented programming language. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point now? When a programming language is an object oriented programming language, if any programming language represents data in the form of objects as per object oriented features, then that programming language is called as an object oriented programming language. Got my point or not? Right. Observe carefully. What are the various object oriented features actually? What are the various object oriented features here we are having? Understand it clearly. There are, observe carefully, there are seven number of object oriented features. There are 7 number of object-oriented features to represent data in object-oriented programming languages. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features actually? What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? No? Very first one, observe carefully, class. First one is what there? Class. Second one is what there? Object. Next one is encapsulation. And the next one is abstraction. Next one is inheritance. The next one is polymorphism. The next one is message passing. But in general, most of the people are neglecting this message passing. Of course, not much utilized in a programming, no, but it is one of the feature. Nobody is including these 7 number of features. No, nobody is including all the features here, but understand this clearly. So here, what I am telling to you, message passing is originally, in general, people are not including in object-oriented features, but it is one of the object-oriented feature as per the concept. All right, sir. Now, here I don't require all these object-oriented features. I don't require all these object-oriented features. Here I required only inheritance. Guys, observe this clearly. What is the topic I'm discussing actually? My topic is what there? Multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That's my point here. So to understand that multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, I have taken inheritance topic. Where that inheritance is available, that point I'm explaining now. What is the link I've given there? From where I started this point here, try to understand it now. I started right from object-oriented programming languages onwards. What is an object-oriented programming language? That is a question I've given there. What is an object-oriented programming language, guys? Now tell me, try to understand it now. If any programming language represents data in the form of objects as per object-oriented features, then that programming language is called as an object-oriented programming language. Right, sir. There are 7 number of object-oriented features to represent data in object-oriented programming languages. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? No, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, then message passing. But here, I think almost all of you might be aware about all the first 6 no. But in general, people are not including that 7th one here. But 7th one is also one of the object-oriented feature. Right now here, out of all these things, here I required what their inheritance. Now what I required here, no, inheritance is the first one here. Observe carefully. What exactly the meaning of inheritance? What's the meaning of inheritance here now? Guys, observe carefully. We have to understand this particular point only, but before going to understand this inheritance, before understanding this inheritance, we need to understand one more fundamental point, one more basic point. What was that basic point here? We have to understand there. Listen carefully. In object-oriented programming languages like Java, in object-oriented programming languages like Java, that programming we are going to write, in the form of classes. In the form of what they know? Classes. How we are going to declare a class? What is the way to represent a class? If you observe this point here, answer is very clear. In outside, all the real world entities are represented in the form of classes only. All the real world entities are represented in the form of what they know? Classes only. What are these real world entities? No, say for example, a group representation, a category, a group representation, a classification, that everything is come under what there? A class. Say for example, you're all students, no, it's a class student. For example, myself is a trainer, class trainer. Some products are available, class product. Some courses are available, class course. Some accounts are available, class account. You get my point or not? So this type of real world entities are represented in the form of what they know? Classes. All these real world entities are represented in the form of what they know? Classes. That's the point here. That's a way to represent what their classes. Understand it clearly? I'm telling to you. In Java, all the real world entities, not only in the case of Java, guys, observe carefully. In object orientation, in object orientation, understand my point here. In object orientation, all the real world entities are declared as classes. All the real world entities are declared as what they know? Classes. Observe carefully, all of you know. Example code. Examples here I'm telling to you. Class student. Okay, C should be small. Why? Because it's a keyword in Java. Class student. Next one is like what there? Class product. Class product. Next one is class. Then what next one here? Customer. Like this. Anything here we are able to take. Different classes here we are able to provide. Inside the classes we are going to declare variables and methods. Leave this one. That's okay, fine. Examples I'm giving there for the classes. What's the meaning of class now? After understanding the classes, now let's come for the inheritance. After understanding the classes, now understand what their inheritance. What is the meaning of inheritance now? Listen, guys, I'm going to give some definition for inheritance now. Try to understand this inheritance definition here. Listen carefully. It is a relation between classes. Come on, guys. What is this actually? It is a relation between classes. Up to now, before this definition, are given all the classes as what they know, individual classes. Class student, class product, class customer, class employee, then different. All the things are like what they know, individual classes. But in some situations, what happened? For the sake of reusability, for the sake of what they know, reusability, what we require here, know, we need some relationships between classes. Say for example, 10 classes I have taken. In all 10 classes I required same variables and same methods. 10 classes I have taken. In all 10 classes, if I provide same variables and same methods, no, automatically duplicate code is increased or not? Automatically duplicate code is increased or not? To avoid, to reduce the duplicate code, we need to define inheritance relation. We have to use what they know, inheritance relation. How we are going to reduce the duplicate code? I will give that information to you, don't worry. Now let's understand this point clearly. What is this inheritance actually? Inheritance is a relation between classes. Okay, what it will do there? It will provide variables and methods. It will provide variables and methods. Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. For what purpose they know? One class to another class in order to improve code reusability. In order to provide what they know, code reusability. Code reusability. Understand, guys, what I'm telling you now? Right, sir? Now tell me what exactly the meaning of inheritance now. Now tell me. It is the relation between classes. Inheritance is what there is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. Got my point or not? Right, sir. Again, I'm telling to you, all of you guys, observe carefully. Again, I'm telling to you, the main intention of, or the main benefit of intention of inheritance is to provide code reusability. That's the main advantage of what they know, inheritance. What's the main advantage of inheritance? No, code reusability. Guys, once again, I'm telling to you here, I required only basic concepts. I don't require too much programming. Don't expect a separate program on the basis of this inheritance immediately. Not at all possible. We have a separate topic, object orientation. There we are going to understand all these concepts effectively with very good content, with very good examples. But at present here just we have to understand what they know, what exactly the meaning of the inheritance, basic awareness. Conceptually we have to understand. Here I need to have more focus on what they know. We are having more focus on what they know. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. To say that point here, first we have to understand what is multiple inheritance. To say this point, first we have to understand what is inheritance. Because of that reason only, I'm introducing inheritance at present. Because of this particular reason only, now we are understanding inheritance. Yes, all of you are following what I'm telling to you. Can you tell me what is the definition for inheritance? Now tell me. Inheritance is a relation between classes. What it will do now? It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. But again, I give the same point here. The main intention of inheritance is to provide code reusability. Guys, observe carefully. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. Got my point or not? Here, I'm telling to you one class, the class which is providing variables and methods to some other class. The class which is providing variables and methods to some other class. That class is called as a parent class. The class which is providing variables and methods is called as what there? Parent class. Of course, your parents are giving some money and some properties to you. Am I right or not? Parent class. The class which is getting variables and methods from parent class. The class which is getting variables and methods from parent class, that is called as, like what they know, child class. The class which is getting variables and methods from a particular parent, that is called as what there? Child class. Parent class and child class. Am I right or not? This is general terminology. I got my point or not? Okay, but small thing I want to change, parent class, child class. Parent class is giving variables and methods to the child class. Child class is getting variables and methods from the parent class. This is original. Am I right or not? But here the small point what I'm telling to you, in Java, there is no terminology like parent class and child class. That is in general terminology in object orientation. But there is no such type of terminology in the case of Java. In the case of Java, the terminology is what there, that parent class is called as a super class. That parent class is called as what they know, super class. And the child class, whatever the child class here we have taken, the child class is called as what they know, subclass. The child class is called as like what they know, subclass. Observe carefully. Parent class and a subclass. That's it. Sorry, super class and a subclass. No concept like what their parent class and child class. But if you want to understand internally, super class is treated as what they know, parent class, and subclass is treated as what they know, child class. Got my point or not? Okay. Now observe carefully, all of you guys. Listen carefully. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. Initially, how many types of inheritances are available? Two types of inheritances initially. Number one, single inheritance. Number two, multiple inheritance. First one is what there? Single inheritance, and number two, multiple inheritance. Observe carefully. On the basis of the above inheritances, there are three more inheritances. Understand, guys? On the basis of, by combining single and multiple inheritances, three more inheritances are defined. What are the three more inheritances are defined here? We can understand the first one, multi-level inheritance. What is this first one? Multi-level inheritance. This is one thing. And the second one is what? Second one here, no, hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. That's the second one here, no. Next one, third one is like what there? Hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. Right, sir. All of you get my point or not? Overall, three more inheritance are defined on the basis of like what they know, like single and multiple inheritances. Overall, five types of inheritances. What are the five types of inheritances, guys? Now tell me: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. Then what next one? No? Hybrid inheritance. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my points or not? Right, sir. Now, out of all these five types of inheritances, now today, as per the requirement, what is my required inheritance? Now, my concept is what there. What is the topic I am discussing with you? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That's my main point here, main requirement. To understand multiple inheritance is not possible in Java only. We are understanding all these points here. So out of these five types of inheritances, today our topic is like what they know, multiple inheritance. Am I right or not? All right, sir. But before this multiple inheritance, I want to give some definitions for single inheritance. After that, I will go for what they know, multiple inheritance. First, I will go for single inheritance. Then after that, I will go for what they know, multiple inheritance. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? All right, sir. That's the point here I'm telling you. Now try to understand it clearly. Now, first of all, let us see the first one here is single inheritance. First here we have to understand single inheritance. Now listen carefully, guys. All of you know. Very simple definition here. Try to understand it now. Guys, now tell me what is inheritance? What is the definition of the inheritance now? Now tell me. It is a relation between classes. Am I right or not? Okay, fine. Then what next one here? It will provide variables and methods of from. It will provide variables and methods of from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Observe carefully. Only one superclass to one or more number of subclass. So here we don't have any condition on number of subclasses. We have condition on only number of superclasses. All of you are understanding the definition here, no? What is this single inheritance? No, it is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass. Only one superclass. Number of superclasses should be only one. But how many number of subclasses? No, one or more number of subclasses here. Number of subclasses would be one or more number of subclasses. Right here. That's the point here we have to understand. Now let's see one diagram here. Simple diagram I'm telling to you. All of you observe carefully this diagram. No, everybody understand this diagram. And I include this diagram in the document also, but try to understand it. For example, here we have taken this is a class. This is a class. What is this class actually? Class A. Class A. Okay. Inside this class A, I am going to declare variable int I is equal to 10. I have declared a variable int I is equal to 10 now. At the same time, I'm going to declare a method void m1 method open and close. Open and close. This is class A. Next one is after that, after completion of this, here I'm going to take a child class, subclass. I'm going to take no. So now this is what I'm telling there, class B. Observe carefully. If you want to represent inheritance relation between two classes, to represent inheritance relation between two classes, we are going to use upwards arrow. What's the arrow here? We are able to use their upwards arrow. Arrow header part is always representing superclass. Arrow tailer part is always representing what they know, subclass. Guys, now tell me in this representation, what is a superclass and what is a subclass now? Class A is what their superclass. Class B is what they know, subclass. Class A is a superclass and class B is what their subclass. Observe carefully. So where we have variables and methods now, up to now, variables and methods are available inside the superclass or not? All right, sir. Inside the superclass, variables and methods we declared that we can reuse. That we can reuse in any number of subclasses. Whatever the variables and methods we declared in the superclass, no, that we are able to reuse. That we are able to reuse in the respective subclass. Observe carefully. Means that here what I am telling to you, inside this class B, I want to access it. I is equal to I plus 10. I can perform some operation with this data. I is equal to I plus 10. At the same way, I want to access M1 method. We can access this M1 method. Now tell me, in this example, in which class I declared variables and methods, guys? Now tell me, in which class I declared variables and methods? No, in a sober class. In which class I'm accessing that variables and methods? No, in the child class. Declared in one class, reused in another class. So code reusability is improved or not? Code reusability is provided or not? Say for example, I may take class C here as a child class to class A. Again class C, class D, class E. 5 classes, 5 child classes I've taken, 5 subclasses I've taken. Whatever the variables and methods are declared in a class A, all these variables we can reuse in all the subclasses. Inside the class B subclass, we can reuse A variables. Inside the class C subclass, we can reuse variables and methods of class A. In that way, we are able to reuse variables and methods of that class A in all the child classes. Right, sir. Moreover, in Java, inheritance is represented in the form of a predefined keyword. Inheritance is represented in the form of a keyword. That keyword is what they know extends. Guys, all of you are following this point or not? That keyword is what they know extends. Now tell me, Java does support this single inheritance or not? Java does support this single inheritance or not? No response, guys. Definitely, Java is supporting single inheritance. Java does support single inheritance. Now let me write even that point also. No, Java does support single inheritance. Java does support what they know, single inheritance. Leave this point clearly. Okay, single inheritance point here we understood. That's okay, fine. Then what is the second one here? Now tell me, guys. Multiple inheritance. This is our required topic today. Multiple inheritance. This is our required point here. Understand this clearly. What is this multiple inheritance, guys? Now tell me, what is the definition here? No. First of all, tell me what is the definition of the inheritance. Inheritance definition is what there? It is a relation between what? Classes. It is a relation between classes. Okay, fine. Then what next one here? No. It will provide variables and methods from variables and methods from. In the case of single inheritance, it is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass in the case of single inheritance. But in the case of multiple inheritance, no, it is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Multiple inheritance. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. So all of you get my point or not? But of course, now here I'm telling that Java does not support multiple inheritance. Java does not support what there? Multiple inheritance. Let me represent the same situation in the case of Java. In the case of diagram here. There I'm going to show later on why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That point here we are going to understand clearly. Right, guys, all of you observe carefully. In the same diagram, I want to have some modifications. Can you try to understand it now? Say for example, I'm taking this is a class A, this is a class B. Observe carefully. Now this is a class C. Where I'm going to say class A, and this is class B, and now this is what they know, class C. Observe carefully. Two classes are existed, two super classes are existed. Alright, sir. For both the super classes, only one child class is available. One or more number of child classes care. I don't have any problem there. To provide more than one child class care, more than one super class also. No. Right, sir. Now, okay. I'm telling to you clearly. Understand this one. Int I is equal to 10. Void M1 method, where inside this M1 method, some X implementation is going on. X implementation is available. X implementation in the sense some X code is available inside this void M1 method. Alright, sir. Inside this class A, what I have taken there? Int I is equal to 10, void M1 method, where X implementation. Now, let's observe this clearly. Class B. Int J is equal to 20. What variable I have taken there? No, J variable here I have taken. J is equal to 20. Next one is what? Next one here? No, void M2 method here we have taken. Inside this M2 method, what implementation is available here? No, Y implementation. Some Y code, then code, different code, Y code is available inside this M2 method, inside this class B. Right, sir. Now tell me, guys, what are the super classes and what is the subclass here? Super classes are what here? Class A and class B. What is the subclass? No, class C. Understand it clearly. When class C is a subclass to class A and class B, all variables of class A, all variables and methods of class B, both are accessible in class C or not? All superclass members we can access inside the class C or not? All variables and methods of A, all variables and methods of B are accessible inside what they know? Class C. Am I right or not? Now the same thing I'm doing there. I is equal to I plus 10, then M1 method call here we provided. Similarly, what next one here? No, J is equal to J plus 20. Then here we are calling like what method here? No, M2 method. Yes, all of you are getting clarity, no? In a class C, both the superclass data here we are able to access. That's okay, fine. Even though it is very fair concept up to now, but still it is not possible in Java. Even though we understood clearly this topic, even though it's not giving any confusion, but still it is not possible in Java. Why it is not possible in Java? Why this multiple inheritance is not possible in Java? So there we have to understand clearly the topic here now. Where multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, why it is not possible in Java, we have to understand this point clearly. Observe carefully. I'm going to provide the same type of diagram, but with a differentiation. Now try to understand this differentiation now. Now, for example, I'm taking this is a class A. This is a class B. Two classes here I have taken. Class A, class B. All right, sir. Next one is after that. This is what they know child class for both the super classes. This is like what I'm telling to you, class C. Observe carefully, all of you know. Here we have taken int I is equal to 10. In a class A, I value is what there? 10. Next one, void M1 method. Inside this X implementation. Guys, observe carefully. In super class K, what members here have taken there? No, I've taken in class K int I is equal to 10, void M1 method that I've taken. Listen carefully. In class B, int I is equal to 20 this time. Variable is same. In a class A and in a class B, both are super classes, no? In both the super classes, variable name is the same. Variable name is the same, but at different values. Next one, after that, void M1 method. Void M1 method. Same method, but implementation parts are different. Why implementation inside this class B? Right, guys? All of you understand up to now? Now tell me, two superclasses I have taken. In both the superclasses, same variable I declared, but with the different values. Same method we declared, but with the two different implementations. Now tell me, class C is a child class to class A and a class B. Inside this class C, inside the class C, listen carefully, inside the class C, we are able to access variables and methods from both the superclasses. I is equal to I plus 30. So now we are calling M1 method. I is equal to I plus 30 and M1 method. Now we are calling. Okay. Now we are trying to evaluate this I is equal to I plus 10. So first JVM will search for I variable in class C. Have we declared any I variable inside the class C? Have we declared any I variable inside the class C? No. But we have declared that I variable in both the superclasses. We declared I variable in both the superclasses. But here the question is, from which superclass this I variable is coming? From which superclass this I variable is coming? That is the question. From which superclass that I variable is coming? Say for example, if I value is coming from class A superclass, if I value is coming from class A superclass, then what's the meaning of it? You know, I is equal to I plus 10. I is equal to already I value is 10. I is equal to 10 plus 30. 10 plus 30. What's that value? You know, is it 40? For example, if I variable value is coming from class B superclass, class B superclass. Inside the class B, what is the I variable value? 20 is a I variable value. So I is equal to I plus 30. That means I is equal to 20 plus 30. There, what is the value? You know, 50. Is it 50? Indirectly, what I am asking there, from which superclass that class C is able to take I variable value? If it is a class A superclass, I value is a 10. The 10 is equal to I is equal to 10 plus 30, 40. If we take I variable from class B superclass where I value is 20, then in the expression I is equal to I plus 30, I is equal to 20 plus 30. Now it is 50. Is it 50? Understand my point here? So from which superclass that I variable value is coming? From which superclass I variable value is coming? It's a confusion. It's a confusion. Next one. Whenever we are calling M1 method, which class M1 method is going to be executed over the more than one superclass? M1 method is coming from which superclass? If we think about it, M1 method is coming from class A superclass, no, where that implementation is what there? X implementation. Is it X implementation? If we think another superclass for the class B, class C, what is that another superclass? No, class B. Now here, inside this class B, what implementation is available here? No, inside the M1 method, Y implementation is available. Is it Y implementation? Is it X implementation or is it Y implementation? From which is superclass that M1 method is coming? From which is superclass that I variable is coming? If we take I variable and M1 method from class A, in a class A, I value is what there 10 now. I is equal to I plus 30. 10 plus 30, 40 we are getting. But in the case of online, sorry, in the case of like what there, in the case of like if you take I value from what there now class B, if you take I value from class B, what value here we are getting there now 20. I is equal to I plus 30. I is equal to 20 plus 30, then 50. Is it 50? For example, if we take M1 method from what there no superclass A, where X implementation is going on, is it X implementation? If we take M1 method from class B, where Y implementation is going on, is it Y implementation? What that class C is going to take now? But class C is a child class for both class A and class B. From definitely superclasses, it has to get one I variable and one M1 method. But here the question is, in both the superclasses, I variable and M1 method is available. From which superclass I variable is coming? From which superclass M1 method is coming? Now you have to decide for it. Is it not confusion? Is it not an ambiguity situation for class C? Understand, guys, what I'm telling there? Is it not the confusion? Is it not the ambiguity situation for class C to take I variable and M1 method from which is superclass? Definitely, it is a confusion for the developers. Definitely, it is a confusion for the developers. Understand my point here? Not only for developers, it is a confusion for compiler and it is a confusion for JVM. It is a confusion for developers, it is a confusion for compiler, it is a confusion for JVM. Totally, this multiple inheritance is becoming as a confusion oriented feature or not? This multiple inheritance is becoming as what they know, it's a confusion oriented feature or not? Definitely, it's a confusion oriented feature. But Java is what there? Java is a simple programming language or not? Once Java is a simple programming language, it should not provide confusion oriented features in its applications. It should not allow confusion oriented features in its applications as it wants to become as what they know, a simple programming language. Because of this reason, multiple inheritance is not available inside the Java. Because of this particular reason, multiple inheritance is not existed in Java. Of course, you may think about it, sir, with the second case, no confusion is generated now. You may be thought about it, with the second case, no confusion is available. In only third case, we are confusing there. That's what I'm telling there. The third case is sufficient to avoid total multiple inheritance. Because of that case 3, the total multiple inheritance was removed from Java. Even though no confusion in the second case, no, because of third case, the second case is also be removed. Why? Because totally multiple inheritance is not allowed inside the Java applications here. That's why Java doesn't have multiple inheritance in its applications clearly. Guys, all of you are getting my points or not? No response, sir. All right. Now we have to understand all these points clearly. Why? Because these points are very, very important. Without knowing all these points, even understanding the content in the future is also be waste of time. But first we have to understand clearly. Right, sir. Up to which part here we understood there? Multiple inheritance. Definition I given, Java does not support multiple inheritance. That's okay, fine. But why it is not supporting multiple inheritance? I'm giving some situations to you. Now try to understand it clearly. Right, sir. Now here what I'm telling there, in case of multiple inheritance, in case of multiple inheritance, if we declare same variable and methods, same variables and methods with different values and different implementations in more than one superclass. In more than one superclass, and if we access that variables and methods in the respective superclass, then it will be confusion state. It will be confusion state. It will be confusion state for compiler and JVM. It will be confusion state for compiler and JVM that to get variable values and method implementations from which superclass. Right, sir. In case of multiple inheritance, if we declare same variables and methods with the different values and different implementations in more than one superclass, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, not superclass, in the respective subclass, then it will be confusion state for the component JVM that to get variable values and method implementations from which is superclass. Guys, all of you understand the context now? Is that clear? In that para, that context is clear. All right, sir. Now get the conclusion here. What I am telling there. What is the conclusion now? Java is a simple programming language. Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion. It must not allow the confusion oriented features. It will not allow confusion oriented features like pointers. Point is a confusion oriented feature or not? Now here not required. Like what they know, multiple inheritance. Like multiple inheritance. Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow. It must not allow the confusion-oriented features like what they know, multiple inheritance. Because of this confusion only, Java doesn't allow this multiple inheritance. Are you getting my point or not? Right. So now here I want to give the diagram here. Whatever the diagram here I prepared there. Now let me provide the diagram here. As it is the diagram here I want to have there. Try to understand it. Right, sir. Here we are getting the diagram. That's okay, fine. Now here I want to provide the conclusion. One more conclusion here I'm telling to you. Now try to understand this clearly. What's the point I'm telling to you? All of you observe carefully. Okay, multiple inheritance is possible or not possible in Java? Come on, as per this discussion, possible or not possible? Not possible. Am I right or not? Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Okay, nice. But why it is not possible? Why it is not possible? That point here we have to understand. We understood already because of confusion stage. Okay, but how Java has restricted this multiple inheritance? Not possible. Okay, but how Java has restricted this multiple inheritance? How it is not allowed? I'm not asking why it is not allowed. I'm asking to you how it is not allowed. What manipulations it has to avoid multiple inheritance? What it has done to avoid multiple inheritance? If you observe this point here, I'm able to give clarity. Now try to understand it now. First of all, anyway, before writing the content here, first understand this. Understand this. Guys, all of you understand this. How we are able to represent multiple inheritance actually? Say for example, if you have class A, if you have class A, then here we have what they know, class B. Now I want to say, I want to define inheritance relation between class A and class B. I want to see class B is a child class to class A. I want to say class B is a subclass to class A. That's my requirement. So if you want to say class B is a subclass to class A, simply we have to use extends keyword in class B syntax. Extends A. Class B extends A. What is the meaning of class B extends A? No. What is the meaning of it? You know, B is a child class, whereas A is what there? No, superclass. A is a superclass, B is what there? Like a subclass. This is the meaning of this inheritance. Am I right or not? Okay. Now get the point. What I am telling to you. Observe carefully. To restrict multiple inheritance, to restrict multiple inheritance, Java has defined what keyword you know, extends keyword. Extends is a keyword. Java has defined extends keyword in such a way to allow in such a way that to allow only one super class name, not to allow more than one super class name in a subclass declaration. Superclass name in a subclass declaration. Understand it clearly? What I'm telling you, to restrict a multiple inheritance, Java has a defined extends keyword in such a way to allow, only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in a subclass declaration, or else in a subclass syntax, simply speaking. Now observe carefully. Here I'm telling to you, here we are having like what there example I'm telling to you. Simple example here I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. Now here class A, guys, observe carefully. Class A, class B extends A. Here class A is available here. Now let me take in the next one. Here class A is available and class B extends A. Now tell me guys, after extends keyword, how many superclass names here we have written? No, only one superclass name. Now the status is like what they know, valid up to that. Observe carefully. Another example here I'm telling to you. Understand this no. What is that? Another example here. For example, class A Now this is one class. Similarly, class B, this is another class, class B. Next one is like what they know, class C extends B comma extends A comma B, extends A comma B. Now status is like what they know, invalid. Why sir? Why it is invalid here? Why is invalid here? After extends, how many superclass names can be provided? Two superclass names. But actual extends keyword is able to tell how many superclasses? No, only one superclass. A comma B we provided. That's why it is what there no error. It is a compilation error. Right? Whenever we are putting comma here after A extends one superclass name, then comma. When we put comma, there itself we are getting an error here. Guys, all of you are following these points now? Right, so now this is exactly the point what I'm telling to you about like what there multiple inheritance, how extends keyword, how multiple inheritance is restricted inside the Java just by defining extends keyword about to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. Yes, sir. Clear? All clear? Right, sir. Now, what exactly the points we understood there? Now let's see this content here one by one, one by one. Today, now just almost all very good content here we discussed here. I think I have given diagram also, right? Right, fine. Let's see this diagram here. Not only that, then what exactly the concepts here we understood there about this point. First of all, what is our point, sir? Now tell me. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That's the question here. Then what is the answer here? Now tell me. If any programming language represents data in the form of objects as per object-oriented feature, then the programming language is called as what there? An object-oriented programming language. And there are 7 number of object-oriented features. What are the 7 number of object-oriented features? No, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. In object orientation, all the real-world entities are declared in the form of what there? Classes. Some examples are given there. To define inheritance relation, now we record what is a class. That point I have given there. So examples are class student, class product, class customer, and so on and so on and so on. Then what is inheritance here? The point now. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. From one class to another class. Here one class is what there? Superclass, and other class is what there? Subclass. Which class is providing variables and methods? No. Which class is providing variables and methods? No. Superclass. Which class is getting variables and methods? No. Subclass here. No. Right. So reusability, if you want to achieve there, declare variables and methods in superclass. Reuse that variables and methods inside what there? No. Subclass here. No. The main intention of inheritance is what there? To provide code reusability. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances? No, single inheritance, and second one is what there? No, multiple inheritance. On the basis of the above inheritances, there are three more inheritances are defined. What are the three more inheritances? You know, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. Right, sir. What is single inheritance? I given a definition. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does support or does not support? Java does support what they know? Single inheritance. Then what is this multiple inheritance? No, it's a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does not support multiple inheritance. Why Java does not support multiple inheritance here? No, in case of multiple inheritance, if you declare same variables and same methods, same variables and same methods with different values and different implementations in more than one superclass, and if we access that variables and methods in the respective subclass, then it will be a confusion state for the compilant JVM that to get that about to get. It's a confusion state for the compilant JVM about to get which variables, about to get variable values and methods method implementations from which is superclass. It's a confusion state for the compilant JVM about to get variable values and methods from which is superclass. From which is superclass these variables and methods here we are getting. It's a confusion state now. Right, sir. So Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion-oriented features like what they know, multiple inheritance. Because of this reason, multiple inheritance is not possible in the case of Java. But how Java has restricted this multiple inheritance? No, to restrict multiple inheritance, Java has defined extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name in a subclass declaration. Is it all of you are getting these points or no? No, this is exactly the meaning of like what there, how multiple inheritance is restricted here. Now here, the example I'm giving there, class A, class B extends here. Now it is what there valid. Now another one is what there class A, class B. Next one is what there class A extends A comma B. After specifying A, if you provide comma, sufficient to get an error. Compiler will raise an error. Why? Because extends keyword is not allowing more than one superclass. That's why status is what they know invalid. Invalid status here we are getting clearly. Then after that, I give in some diagram also be clearly right. So now this is what exactly the meaning of like what there multiple inheritance. Sir, all of you are getting my points or not? Right, and some evening time classes I'm taking there 6 to 7:30. It's okay, good. But people are not putting complete concentration. Some of you are sleeping. Initially, their eyes are bigger, completely bigger. Whenever I'm looking their faces, no, their eyes are totally big like this only. But whenever I'm rounding my head there, gradually their eyes are closed. Almost a smallest eyes, very, very small eyes now. By the time, after a few minutes of time, they are completely like what they are. Then all of a sudden, when I raise my hand there, again they are wake up, no, they are looking my face seriously. Why, sir? Why this much of seriousness on my face, no? Huh? So that shows how much you are interested on your topic there now. So I should not get sleep. Now I'm talking about some important skill. So even if I talk this type of topics, if you're sleeping inside my class there, you are insulting me. I feel like that only. You're insulting me. You're not giving any respect to my subject. Okay, forget about insult to me or forget about respect to me. No. First of all, we are wasting your time. Your time is important. You are wasting your time. So why you are coming here? To learn the subject only, right? But I'm talking about subject now. But you are sleeping. You are not in a position to receive the subject. See, I don't want to take any such type of class to you immediately. But the point is, just I'm giving some alertness to you about to listen the content. So definitely, interviewer may touch this type of topic. If you are the fresher, definitely you will get this type of question. Multiple inheritance is possible or not possible in Java? Straight question. Your answer should be what they know, not possible in Java. Why it is not possible in Java? Again, interviewer will ask this question there. There you have to explain this total point. Two super classes are available. If I declare same variable with a different value, same method with the different implementations, and if you access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then from which superclass that variable will be accessed, from which superclass that method will be accessed, is a confusion state for the compiler and JVM, and to the developer also. Java is a simple programming language. It will not allow confusion-oriented features, but multiple inheritance is giving confusion for us. So Java does not allow this confusion-oriented feature. That's why multiple inheritance is not available in Java. Up to that, okay, if you give this much of explanation, some interviewer may be satisfied, but some other interviewer will ask next question. It's okay, nice. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. I do agree that. But how Java has restricted this multiple inheritance? Most of the people are not expecting this question from interviewer, but interviewer will ask this question there. But how multiple inheritance was restricted inside the Java? What manipulation that Java has done to not to allow, that means to remove multiple inheritance in Java? That question might be asked there. Then what is your answer there in this context now? There we have to give the answer is what there. To represent inheritance, Java has given extends keyword. Java has defined extends keyword about to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. The extends keyword was defined by Java about to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. In that way, Java has restricted multiple inheritance programmatically inside our Java applications. Yes, guys, all of you get my point or not? Then if the different interviewer is available for you, if that interviewer wants to extend the same discussion next level, then I will ask you a question to you. Now tell me, in which programming language multiple inheritance is possible? In which programming language multiple inheritance is possible? All right, then immediately you may give the answer is what they know, C++. In C++, multiple inheritance is possible. But before giving that answer there, just think about it now. C++ is almost all outdated. Nobody knows about that C++. Am I right or not? Maximum in the olden days might be C++ is available, but nowadays at present Java and its related concepts only. Nobody is thinking about what they know, C++. But immediately people are giving comparison with Python. Instead of talking about C++, no, now people are thinking about what they know, Python. Then interviewer is asking there, in which programming language multiple inheritance is possible? In the sense, he is expecting answer from you is a Python only. Not expecting what they know C++. Already it is outdated. Even students are not aware. That interviewer is also not aware. Is that C++ is not in the context of that interviewer. Which programming language is there in the context of that interviewer? Immediately the comparison with what they know, Python. Unfortunately, nowadays in academics also Python is available. In which way Java is available, in the same way Python is also included in some academics. No. Then immediately interviewer is going to ask there, in Python multiple inheritance is possible or not? There you have to say what they know, yes only. Yes, in Python multiple inheritance is available. If interviewer wants to extend the same discussion next level, then we will ask there, I understood clearly why and how multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. I do agree that. But how it is possible in the case of Python? How multiple inheritance is possible in the case of Python? Yeah, just for the sake of your knowledge purpose, I'm talking there. I don't want to write any notes here in this context also. No. How multiple inheritance is possible inside the Python? What happened inside this Python? How Python is allowing this multiple inheritance? What algorithm they are following internally? Get my point or not? Now, by the time we have to understand the content clearly, how it is possible. Just for the sake of your knowledge, I'm giving that information to you. Try to understand this point, guys. All of you know. Okay. Now let me prepare the content here. Class A. Now I'm talking about Python now. It's not Java. Please recognize this. Class A. In a Python, no curly braces. Please recognize this. Colon space independent operator. Independent space is nothing but what they know. Independent operator. Okay, some space. Tab space is required. There we can declare I is equal to 10. Semicolon is optional. I is equal to 10 means that, what is the meaning of it? No, whenever we provided some space here, automatically this I is come under what they know, A. Yes, guys, all of you get my point or not? That's okay. This is a A. Next one, class B colon. There here we provided like what they know, I is equal to 20. I is equal to what there 20. Semicolon is not mandatory in the case of Python. I want to say these two are what they know, super classes. Observe carefully. Now I want to provide like what there, class C. Come on guys, what is this one? No, class C. To represent inheritance in Java, extends keyword is available. Am I right or not? But in the case of Python, we have to use parenthesis. If we say A, what is the meaning of it? No, C is a child class, A is a super class. I get my point or not? C is a super class and A is what they know. C is a child class, A is what they know, super class. There, for example, if I use, say, for example, if I declare some method, void M1 method, if we declare, no, for example, inside this print of, not sys not outed println. In case of Python, what is the tennis section? Then print of, if I call I, then what will happen there? No, which value will be provided here in the case of this one here? No, first I will be checked in the current class, that is C. If it is not available, then it will check in which class they know, super class. What is that super class name? No, what is the super class name? No, A. Inside this A, I is available or not? Yes, available. What is the value here? No, 10. No, automatically 10 value will come. This is okay, normal, single inheritance only. Is that all of you get my point or not? Okay, now this is what I'm telling to you, case 1. The case 1 I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Similarly, second case I'm telling to you in the same one, case 2. Inside this, what I'm telling there, class C of B. What's the meaning of it, guys? Now tell me, all of you know, as for the Python representation, class C of B. B is what they know, super class. C is what they know, child class. Now inside this, if I take now okay, let me take this case here inside this. Now okay, understand it. Inside this, if I take void m1 method, inside this print of I, if I take now, what value here we are able to get, guys? Now tell me, what's the value here? First of all, I value will be checked at a current class, that is C. If it is not available, then it will check in which class they know, super class B. What is that super class? No, B. What is that super class B? What is that value is there inside the B? I is equal 20. Then what output here we are getting there? No, 20 is a value we are getting. Up to case 2 is also very simple. Okay, no confusion here. No. Next one is case 3. This is important. Now try to understand it now. Case C. Just knowledge purpose only. Actually, it is not required for us today. But for the sake of your understanding purpose, how Python has implemented, why Java was not implemented. That's the differentiation I want to say now. Right, sir. In the case of this Python, case C, class C of A comma B. What's the meaning of A comma B, guys? Now tell me. In Java, it's almost all equal to what they know. Class C extends A comma B. That means how many superclasses are available for class C? 2 superclasses are available. What are the 2 superclasses? No, A comma B. Now inside this, if we take like what there, void M1 method. If we take no void M1 method, void M1 method. If we take no, inside this, if we provide print I, observe carefully. Observe carefully here. One algorithm is implemented. No, what the searching process here? First, I variable will be checked in the current class C. If it is not available in the current class C, then PVM, not JVM, PVM. What is that PVM? No, Python virtual machine will search for I variable in the super classes. But how many super classes are available? 2 super classes are available. But how PVM will search for I variable in the super class? No. First, PVM will search for I variable in the super classes in an order in which we provided super classes. In the order in which we provided super classes. Now tell me, sir, in which order we provide super class? No, A comma B. Then if I variable is not available in C, first PVM will search for I variable in which class? No, A super class. If I variable is available in A super class, finish. There itself it will stop its searching process. No, it will take I variable value from A super class. And then what is that I variable inside the A super class? No, in A super class, what is the value here? No, 10 we are getting. Now the output value is what they know, 10. Understand it or not? All right, sir. Next one. After that, case 4, I am telling to you, observe carefully. Then inside this, what I am telling to you, class C of B comma A. Then here, void M1 method. If we take like this. Now inside this, if we provide print I. Now tell me here, what is the searching process? No, first I variable will be checked inside the class C, not available. Then it will check in super classes or not. How it will check in super classes there? In which order we provided super classes? No, in the same order I variable will be checked. First PVM will go to the class B where it will check I variable. If I variable is not available in class B, then only PVM will search for I variable in what then? Next super class. Now it will go to the B, class B, where super class is I variable is available or not available? Available. What is the value here? No, 20. Then immediately it will go for like what they know? 20 is an output here. In the case I variable is not available in a class B, then it will search for I variable in which class? No, next super class. What is that next super class? Can no, A is the next super class. There we are able to get that value. Yes, sir, got my point or not? This is what exactly the algorithm which is maintained by Python to resolve this multiple inheritance. But that is Python related. But Java is different. Python is different. In Java, Java thought there is a confusion state. That's why Java has restricted multiple inheritance. Python is thinking it is not a confusion state. Easily we can implement some algorithm internally to resolve this confusion. So Python has implemented in this way. So I'm telling to you, object orientation is same. The way object orientation is implemented in Java, the way how object orientation is implemented in Python, both are totally different. As per Java object orientation, multiple inheritance is not possible. As per Python object orientation, multiple inheritance is possible. Sir, all of you get my point or not? Right, sir. Now, this is what exactly the point I'm telling. See, once again, I'm telling to you, this is what actually. This is what I'm telling there in a Python. In a Python, multiple inheritance is possible. Right, sir. In the Python, multiple inheritance is possible. How it is? I'm giving some implementation part here. You can understand. So if you want, if you are interested to understand this, then only you can understand. Otherwise, it's not at all required for us. Is that all of you get my point now? Right, sir. Now leave this particular point here. Next one, after completion of this total. Now, guys, now tell me overall how many differences we understood up to now? Five differences, five or six? Five differences we understood. Just I require titles, guys. Now tell me what is the first one? C and C plus plus are static programming language, but Java is what? Why you are forgetting that previous concepts, guys? It's a matter of 1 week you are attending now. During this 1 week of time, you are not remembering the content, but how it is possible to remember 3 months of content at a time? That's why I'm repeating number of times. At least you have to recollect the concepts now. So first difference is what there. C and C++ are static programming languages. Java is what there? Dynamic programming languages. Second point is what there? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Third point is C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what? Platform independent programming language. Then fourth one, pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. Then fifth one is what there? Multiple inheritance is not possible in the case of Java, but multiple inheritance is possible in C++ and what they know? Python. Forget about C++, no? Then try to understand what is that, no? Python. Inside the Python, it is available here. But Python conventions are different, Java conventions are different. Java is implementing object orientation is one way, Python is implementing object orientation in another way. As per the Python rules and regulations, multiple inheritance is possible. How it is possible? I given some algorithm. But in the case of Java, how multiple inheritance is not possible, there are given some reasons there clearly as per the Java rules and regulations. Yes, guys, all of you get my point or not? Right, sir. Now, this is what exactly the meaning of this multiple entities and its story clearly. Then after that, after completion of this, that sixth difference here we are going to understand. Listen carefully. All right, sir. Now, distractors are existed in C++, but distractors are not existed in Java. Destructors existed in C++, but destructors are not existed in Java. Right, sir. Now, this is the point here we have to understand. Destructors are existed in C++, but destructors are not existed in Java. Okay, clear? Right. Can I discuss this topic on tomorrow? Right, sir. Not on tomorrow. I think so on Monday, right? Day after tomorrow. Shall we go for it now? Right, sir. Now, this is the topic I'm going to discuss there. Maximum on Monday, remaining up to 9 points are available. Sixth point we have to understand this. Sixth, seventh, and maybe one or two, three more points. Next few points I'm going to complete on Monday. After completion of these topics on Monday, then we are moving for what they know, some other new topic there. What is that new topic we are going to discuss? I will explain to you clearly, right? Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on Monday, right? Thank you. Thanks a lot. In a single line. One minute. Class A. Okay. Class B extends A. Then class C extends B. Uh, class class A. No, sir. Class B. Right. Guys, and those who are attending in online, maybe the link is going to be changed from Monday. Then Monday, those who registered for this course, you are able to get a mail, an official mail from Durgasoft. In that mail, new link is available and your ID is also available there. You have to join with the class with the IDE, right, sir? You try to understand it now. Yeah, thank you, guys. Then what if we give as this class B extends the class? After extends keyword, we should not provide class keyword. Directly, we have to provide only super class name. Guys, understand it? Okay. Then after this class, after this extends keyword, you should not provide what they know. You should not provide class keyword again. You have to provide what they know, only class name, super class name, without class keyword, right? Then after extends keyword, you should not use class keyword. You have to use only class name, super class name only. Yeah, that's the point. Multi inheritance. Yeah, exactly the same point. Improving code reusability in the sense reducing code redundancy only. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. In C++, all header files names are small letters only. Maybe, yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. In general, header files names are in lowercase letters only. In Java, package names are in lowercase letters only. Sir, webinar mobile app is not working. No, I think so. It's working there, but you have to give webinar ID. There you have to give webinar ID. Guys, now this is webinar ID. 626912107. That we have to give. Then only it will work in mobile phone. Otherwise, it will not work there. Anyway, then I'll get it now. Right. Webinar mobile app not working. Right, sir? Some issue. No, yeah. Then see, in a mobile phone, we have to install go to webinar software. Then after that, if you want to join with that, there we have to give webinar ID. For every webinar, there is an ID. That ID we have to provide. No, then we are able to access even through, we are able to listen to class even through mobile phone and tab and anything. But where the point is what, you have to provide webinar ID in our go to webinar app, then only it will work. Okay. Right. My brother said to meet Nagoor sir. Sir, I have program. I am a BSc student. Okay. So I built a career for IT sector. So what to do? He said, you meet Nagoor sir, okay. You'll get some information, right? Yeah. See, at present, the software industry is open platform for everybody. One thing I'm telling you. Nowadays, might be company drives recruitments are going on not only for BTech and MCA, right? Then for even BSc people and any degree holder can apply for software engineer, can apply for software jobs. So that's possible. Any degree, no issues. But the point is what there, you need to have the technical skills. So one thing I'm telling you. In BTech also, computer science is one course. Mechanical and electronics are two are available, right? But still, companies are taking that mechanical students and electronic students. No? Engineering. That's okay. In engineering also, it might be the mechanical in the sense total away from computer science, right? So like that. Similarly, what happened there nowadays, software companies are taking any graduate people. Even some people came from like what their BSc mathematics, BSc physics also, but they might have BSc mathematics. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. They completed their courses, then they improved their technical skills. Then first of all, just companies are going to say like what there any degree graduate. If it is a case, no, if you apply for it, no, then they will check your knowledge on Java properly. Then if you have good knowledge, then definitely they will take you. It's going on. Possibilities are available, but I'm not saying every company is able to take you, but some companies definitely will allow you. Sir, I have software side. Yeah, my option is always go for higher education. Yeah, that means see what I'm telling to you. See, on BSc, if you come here, if you complete your courses, even if you select with any company, then that company are going to give some less payment for you. But with MCA or with BTech, if you go to the companies there, then they're able to give more amount. That is point number one. But one more point, what I'm telling there, after completion of your academics, if you start any job there, if you join with any company for the sake of this working there, once you started working with any company, you will not go for study again. Sure. But after completion of BSc in the continuation, if you go for MCA, then MCA will be completed immediately. But you may thought of it. After completion of BSc, might be 2 to 3 years of time I want to work there. After that 2 to 3 years of working, I want to go for MCA in the sense is not at all possible. My always first priority is for what the higher education only. Try to complete higher education, then after that you can go for what there, the software courses. See, in Amirpet or maybe in the institutes, you can learn the subjects maybe within 5 to 6 months of time. Maybe this year or maybe after 2 years or maybe after 3 years, that doesn't matter. You are able to complete. Or maybe other thing is what I'm telling you, best suggestion, while doing your MCA, we can learn the courses. Now, at a time, if you do that, your courses are going to be completed. Your MCA is going to be completed. The moment when you are completing your MCA, you will be ready to join with any company. Yeah, that's the best option if I'm thinking about it. But if you have any intention to continue your study there, then go for that study only. I'm not going to suggest to you come for the courses and here itself. No, I'm not saying that. If it is possible, if you want to go for MCA, then better go for MCA without having any second thought. In Hyderabad, you want to join for MCA. In Hyderabad, you want to join for MCA? Yeah, baby. So many colleges are available here in Hyderabad. Yeah, then I said exam you have to write there. Some entrance exam you have to write. Through that one, see, in Hyderabad might be all the types of things are available. Through exam we can go there, or maybe through donation also we can go there. See, then nothing is difference here. Even if you go through exam or if you go through like what their donation, no, at the end, both the students will sit in the same classroom. Training will be same for both of them. Exams will be same for both of them. That doesn't matter. So in which way we are moving there? I think you are coming from different state, right? From where we Bihar. But in Hyderabad, in the sense, you're non-local, right? It is Telangana, right? Maybe less number of seats might be available for you. If it is a donation, might be always you are welcome, right? Haha, for donation point of view. In the point of free seats, they may not be allowed, but in the point of donation also not available. Haha, already time is over, right? Then we have to go for next academic calendar, maybe next year, maybe. Okay. And try to check. Still, some colleges are available. In Hyderabad, maybe some colleges are available. No need to go to the colleges regularly. Just if we go to the exams, no, then such type of colleges are available here. Only allowing for exams, not to go for like classes and all. Yeah. In MCA education in Hyderabad, it's going on like that. Majority of the colleges, but some colleges are taking classes seriously. Say, for example, CBET is there. Okay, maybe that depends on the colleges. Regular degree you are able to get qualification, but there if you want to talk seriously about it, no, two cases are available. If you are very much serious on your academics, no, then better to go for the colleges which are conducting regularly the classes. But if you don't think much about it, just you want to have a degree, a certificate, no, then go for such type of colleges, no. Think about it. Then if you want to serious about it, go for exams. Mm. Then your brother has said that information, huh? Okay. It's okay then. You will get certificate. That's it. All formalities will be complete. You will get a regular certificate. Knowledge point of view. But if you study really, then some knowledge you are able to gain. That's what I'm telling there. Then whatever it may be, whether that college is regular college or maybe then part-time college, that doesn't matter. Along with that, you have to complete the software courses. Right from first year onwards, if you plan for it, no, at the end of the MCA, then you'll be in a position to get job in any company. In that company, after joining with that company, also you'll not come back for any course there. Why? Because already you completed these courses during this MCA time. No, that we can plan both. Then that will be good. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Good. Okay, no problem. Yeah, it will be okay. Then every company will accept it, right? Then every company will check your knowledge and as well as what they know, your certificate. Yeah, whether you complete MCA or not, and knowledge required Java skills are available or not. That I'm telling you, while doing your MCA parallel, if you do these courses, no, that will be good enough. That will be right thing for you. At the end of the MCA, then you'll be ready to go for any company then. Yeah, good thing. Hmm? Then try to plan for it. Thank you. Thank you. Right, guys. Then, guys, shall we meet on Monday, right? We are going to meet on Monday with a new link. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on Monday. Thank you. Thanks a lot.